And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy, Cheap Loots. Time to report on the Thursday pack teases. As a hard hitting journalist, I do like to report on the teases that occur on Thursdays. Now, sometimes they're kind of a doozy. This time, I feel like, I don't know, some people are stoked, some people are let down. Myself, I'm typically let down. And the reason for that is because I can never really afford these high tier cards, man. The prices this year are so ridiculous. I don't even want to get into it. Anyways, we got our first leak earlier today at about 4 p.m. We got a Galaxy Opal Cade Cunningham. Now, we're going to see a very interesting phenomena right now because we got a Cade Cunningham last week, and everyone said that that card was trash and that it wasn't good and that blah, 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 blah. Now, tomorrow, we're going to see the phenomena that I like to see, which is this card is going to come out tomorrow. And chances are it is going to be the exact same in almost every capacity, except now it can play point guard and have a couple additional Hoff badges. And people are going to say he's like the best point guard in the game. Watch, it'll happen. I swear it'll happen. This happens every single year with Jalen Rose. Every single year. We could get two Jalen Rose cards that are essentially identical, which we did see happen last year when we got a pink diamond Jalen Rose, who no one cared about. And then like 3 weeks later, we got a point guard Jalen Rose, and all of a sudden he was like the top point guard in the game or one of them. So it does happen every year, and we're going to see it again with Cade Cunningham. Is Cade Cunningham going to be good? Sure. I've been saying his pink diamond card is good this entire time. So I would expect him to be like kind of good. I don't know. I mean, I'm hyped for him. If he's a buyout, I'll definitely pick him up, but it's looking like it's a possibility that won't happen. But all I'm hoping right now is that this drops the price of Lonzo Ball so I can pick up Lonzo. Still kind of offended that he wasn't a Bulls Lonzo Ball, but I'm going to let it slide so he can join my team. Either way, Cade Cunningham's getting his first card. It's cool. It is what it is. I would have preferred a Dark Matter Luka Garza personally, but it is what it is. Then we got the big news. This was the big one. We got Dark Matter Kawhi Leonard. Now, I'm going to talk about all these cards in a second when I go to the database and kind of explain what to expect from these cards like I always do. And I'm typically pretty on the money with some of these cards. Like, it's not that hard to figure out what 2K is going to do when they scale up cards, but everyone's about to lose their mind trying to get this Dark Matter Kawhi, and I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. He's not going to be that much better than his NBA 75 Kawhi that can equip every badge in the game anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like, this card's going to be better stock for sure, but with the pink diamond Kawhis that are on the market right now, unless they give him quick jump shot timing, I don't see a huge difference between that Kawhi and this one. Honestly, I don't. People are excited, though. For sure. I mean, people are going to be stoked, especially the all money spent and like market guru guys who are going to be able to afford this card. They're going to be stoked. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, why would I even grind for Ray Allen when they're just going to put out a better Ray Allen day one? And what I would say to that is this is when we're going to see that jump shot timing come into effect. There's going to be something that separates Ray Allen from Kawhi Leonard. You know what I mean? Not necessarily saying there's even any capacity that Ray Allen will be better than Kawhi Leonard, but they're going to give us a reason to use Ray Allen, I would hope, especially because the card's not available day one like Yao was. Then we got Shaq Diesel. And look, Shaq's going to be fire. If he can ball handle, and look, the thing I will say is I bet this card can at least shoot mid-ranges. And the reason I say that is because once 2K puts out a glitched version of a player, they will typically come through, and every version after that will at least partially have that glitch. We are seeing that with James Harden, who's like a really, really good defensive card. Every single card he gets this year is pretty good defensively, right? So I don't know. The only person we haven't seen that with is Isaiah Thomas, but we haven't got a higher tier. It's when they scale up gem level, like they're trying to sell packs, basically. Another example would be Klay Thompson. Every Klay Thompson can dribble and has, like, you know, good dribble six. You know what I mean? I don't know. They look cool, but we'll start with Kawhi Leonard. And the reason I want to start with Kawhi is just because realistically, the Kawhi that we're getting tomorrow is not going to be different. Like I said, it's all going to have to do with animations. Like, if he has shifty dribble style instead of Kawhi Leonard dribble style, which I personally don't think is that bad, and has like a mix up of dribble styles, then like I think we could see this Kawhi being a little bit better. Like, or the other Kawhi, I'm sorry. Ray Allen based on normal is totally fine, but if they put it on quick, I think we could also see that. Though I could easily see them doing this thing where they give Kawhi Leonard normal jump shot timing and then give Ray Allen quick jump shot timing. Could you see that? I feel like we can. Now, the card we're going to get tomorrow is going to have the same Hoff badges, but they're going to be improved. He's going to have Limitless Spot Up, Hot Zone Hunter. Both of those are going to be Hoff. He'll have at least Gold Corner Specialist, if not Hoff, at least Gold Chef. Blinders, Catch and Shoot, Clutch Shooter will probably all be Hoff. He'll have pretty much every badge in the game. He'll just be missing a couple. Those badges being like Rim Protector. They seem to like to leave that off of guards at this point. He'll probably be missing like one dribble badge. With whether that be Quick Chain or Hyperdrive, those are two that typically get left off. So he will not have Post Playmaker. I'm sorry to announce to everybody. I don't know, man. I just never get really too stoked about Kawhi Leonard cards because people go absolutely insane every single time. And, they pay way too much MT for these cards. And it's just like, there's no point to it. Like, it's not worth this much price. Like, it's not. We're going to go take a look at the market, and I guarantee you could get Pink Diamond Kawhis with badge editions for like $30K. Like, I guarantee it. It's going to be pretty crazy. Then we got Big Diesel. No, not Shaw. So it'll probably be like this Shaq, more or less. He'll have like a little bit more of a badge slots. But actually, you know what? Take that back. He'll probably be more like Glitch Shaq, I would guess. The badge upgrades will be like NBA 75 Shaq, but he'll be more like Glitch Shaq. He's going to have like a decent mid-range, I would probably say. If not 90, like 85 or something, right? Same with the free throw. The free throw will be up there. I bet they give him like a 69 three-pointer, which like his release is pretty not good. But it's greenable, I suppose. Badge-wise, probably would be the same, though he's going to have like Hoff Clamps, Intimidator, Rim Protector. It's actually kind of crazy that this Shaq in the first place didn't have Hoff Rim Protector and Hoff Intimidator, being he's, Shaq. So I would expect that to change. I don't think we're going to be at the point yet where they start switching around Shaq's jump shot, but I wouldn't be shocked to see it on quick timing. That wouldn't be incredibly shocking. Now, let's get over to Cade. Now, the reason I brought up the phenomena is because everyone decried this card as trash. Even though he has slasher dribble style, which is fine. Jump shot 80 on quick, which is actually pretty good. Like, that's the Mikal Bridges RJ Hampton release, right? It's a pretty decent release, right? On quick timing, which is pretty good. I mean, that's pretty much what he has anyway, so it doesn't really matter. His dribble moves weren't the greatest, but people decried this card as being trash. Now, I will say he's kind of slow for sure, and his badge count isn't the greatest, but I mean, he does have like Gold Chef, like Gold Limitless. I expect the Cade we're getting tomorrow to at least have a couple of those Hoff. I would guess he has like Hoff Chef or Hoff Limitless. The other one will remain gold. And then he'll probably have like Hot Zone Hunter, Set Shooter, because why not? And then like a dribbling badge or something, right? But everyone's going to get hyped on this card, even though this card exists and is going to be not that much worse, I swear. Unless they do some actual overhaul on his like SIGs. Even then, like, I really don't think slasher dribble style is that bad. I don't understand why everyone hates it so much. I think it's fine. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, Shea moves okay. Like, he moves just fine. LaMelo, people still run constantly. So, I don't think it's really that big of a deal. But if you're a casual fan and you just want to play with Cade Cunningham, don't even worry about that card tomorrow. Just pick this one up. It'll be like 5K, literally. The only reason this card was even like moderately expensive was because it was the only Cade card that we had. So let's go take a look at the market and see what this is having an effect on specifically. All right, let's take a look at the market. Number one, I would say if you have a chance, do this limited warm-up skills challenge for sure. You get a choice pack that includes Gold Corey Kispert. I think it's Amethyst Glenn Robinson, Jakar Sampson, and I forgot who the other two people are, but it doesn't matter. Those are the Jakar Sampson and Corey Kispert are the two that you want to pick. If you obviously make a decision between which one, I'm going to pick Corey Kispert. It could never hurt to have golds that overpowered. Like, I promise. It's worth doing this challenge just for those cards alone, for sure. And if you don't, Dennis Smith Jr. is the other one. Yeah. And then there's another card. Who cares? It wasn't Scott Pollard, so I really didn't care, to be honest. Either way, it's worth doing. Now let's take a look at the market, because I guarantee this is going to implode the market in some capacity. So right off the bat, the NBA 2010s card or the lock-in is going to be Klay, at least so far. So I expect these cards to remain at least semi-expensive. Now that being said, where's Kawhi Leonard at? That's who I'm trying to check right now. Yeah, Kawhi is dirt cheap. Look, if you have a 15 Hoff badge Kawhi, I promise he's not that much worse than the Kawhi we're getting tomorrow. I promise he's not. Like, this is a 20 Hoff badge Kawhi. This is essentially the Kawhi we're getting tomorrow. Give or take a few badges. Like, I don't think he's going to have Hoff put back boss, but like, I don't know. You never know with 2K realistically. Like, you really don't. Other than that, you can get a pretty badged up Kawhi for like 50k MT. This one's 45k with a couple extra Hoff badges, unlimited contract, unlimited shoe. Absolutely worthwhile for sure. Right? This is an 18 Hoff badge Kawhi. Like, with some pretty decent badges, nothing overpowered, but pretty decent regardless. This is kind of what I'm getting at. Like, we're going to see a market drop on a lot of these guys. I mean, we're already kind of seeing it because no one really cares about the NBA 75 right now. And for a solid reason. I mean, they announced Klay Thompson. Everyone was kind of excited. These cards kind of spiked up in price a little bit. And then they came crashing down to earth because they just put out a Kawhi Leonard that's probably better than Klay Thompson, realistically. So it's kind of funny. The 2000s, no one cares about these cards. No one, because it's going to be Dwight Howard. So Kobe will still remain at least semi-expensive for right now because his name is Kobe Bryant. But I think when Dwight comes out, we're going to see a lot of people like drop a lot of these cards. You know what I mean? These things are only expensive due to rarity. Just because when these cards were out specifically, the pack odds were so bad that there's just not a lot of them. You know what I mean? The fact that Tim Duncan's still 25k is crazy. He's still more than usable though. Like, let's not get it twisted. Like, Carmelo is cheaper than like a few of the cards on this list, which is crazy to me. Wilt Chamberlain is the person I'm going to keep my eye on in relation to tomorrow. And the reason for that is I still have every intention of locking in the 1960s set. I really do. I don't even care, dude. I just want to lock something in. I've been super poor this entire year, so I haven't got to lock in like any sets. So like, I would like to lock in at least one set. Also, shout out to the commenter that asked if I was going to make a video and talk about Ukraine. Come on, dog. Like, are you serious? This is, oh man, what do you think? I'm a foreign policy expert? Like, come on, dude. I talk about digital basketball cards. What authority do I have? What knowledge base? I am a historian. And by historian, I mean I get high and watch World War I documentaries all the time, but you know, it's not really the same thing. I'm sorry, I just wanted to bring that up because it's been weighing on me all day and it made me laugh super hard when I saw it this morning. Look, dude, the 70s set should be relatively cheap to unlock, or lock in. Why did I say unlock? But the thing I will say about the 1970s is if you do want to stock up on players, just remember that we have a solid amount of 1970s players left. Like Rick Barry, for sure. Dave DeBusschere, I think, so that's 2. Walt Frazier, 3. Elvin Hayes, 4. Jerry Lucas, 5. Pistol Pete, 6. Earl Monroe, he could go either way, but I think 7. So we have 7, like, more 1970s players. And the 1960s isn't over either. Like, we still have Elgin Baylor. There's someone else. Dolph Schayes, Bill Sharman, and Bob Pettit in the mix. So that's why I wasn't really tripping about the Bob Pettit we got for the All-Star challenges, because we're getting like a Dark Matter Bob Pettit relatively soon. So we still got a decent amount. And then when we look at the 80s are almost over. Like, you can guarantee this is going to be the lock-in for the 80s. I mean, we have a Robert Parrish. We have a Hakeem and Gary Payton, but I would assume those guys are going to be 90s, right? As far as the 80s, like, I only see Robert Parrish left. So the 80s might actually be legitimately the cheapest set to lock in. Is it a good idea to go purchase a bunch of these cards? Possibly. It could be. Like, literally, unless they put Hakeem, like a Dark Matter Hakeem in here, I don't know if... I mean, which they could. He was dominant during the 80s as well, so We could easily see that, but this is going to be the cheapest set to lock in as of right now. And which is crazy because once upon a time, this was easily the most expensive. Had they ended this when they were supposed to in, like, I don't know, December, this would have been the most expensive squad. The 90s, we don't have a whole lot of guys left, but the guys we have left are big names like Gary Payton and Hakeem. This will be not really a cheap. Yeah, it won't really be that cheap to lock in, but it's going to be relatively chill. I think the 60s and 70s might actually be the worst two to lock in, to be honest. Like, truly. 2000s have already went in. Yeah, 2010s is going to suck too. But let's look at some more cards here while we're here. Klay Thompson, he is dipping in price quite a bit because Dark Matter Klay Thompson is coming out pretty soon. Kawhi Leonard just got announced. Wouldn't be shocked to see Klay Thompson be a buyout tonight. And honestly, I would say for competitive reasons, he would be worth every single penny. But if you plan on just using him for funsies, there's other guys that you can get for significantly cheaper. Durangelo's down quite a bit. Mine sold for like $300K, which was really cool because it was during like the weird market implosion that we had. Grant Hill is cheap just because we're getting a bunch of shooting guards, which I might even pick up Grant Hill, honestly. Like, I might. If his price dips to like a level I'm comfortable paying, like 60K, I'm definitely picking him up. He's not the greatest card in the world, but I like Grant Hill in 2K, man. I do. Karl Anthony Towns is a buyout. He's still the best stretch big in the game, I think, personally. Outside of Anthony Davis, obviously, but his jump shot is a little bit slow, but he's still really, really good. Derrick Rose, is he a buyout? Yeah, he is. What about Harden? Harden, I could see being a buyout, but also Harden's kind of a sweat lord player, so. What about Lonzo Ball? You let me get my shine on. Let me get Lonzo Ball quite yet. Okay, I find it hard to believe that there's no Lonzo Balls up. Yeah, okay, Lonzo Ball and Jalen Rose. Jalen Rose, I think, will be the one who takes the biggest price hit in relation to Cade Cunningham. And the reason I say that is the only reason people use Jalen Rose is because he's 6'8". Like, that's literally the only reason. Nobody likes anything about this card other than the fact that he's 6'8". So Cade coming out tomorrow, I think, will have an effect on Jalen Rose's price, personally. So if you've been looking for Jalen Rose, you got a good shot tomorrow. Straight up, you do. I don't know if anyone else is really going to take a massive price hit aside from Jordan. Like, Jordan and like Kawhi and Terry Dissinger are going to be the three. Like, Jordan's taking a pretty gnarly price hit. Like, he is, but I still don't think he's worth it. And the reason I say that is because it's not worth it to go pick up Jordan when you can pick up Zach LaVine, who's significantly better in like every way, for way cheaper. Like, Zach LaVine you can get for like 50K, and he is an absolute demon for that price, straight up. That's just facts. Russ will be a buyout, I guarantee it, at some point, like, for sure. T-Mac and Kobe aren't going to take too much of a price hit, realistically. I mean, they're going to remain somewhere around 400 or 500K for the foreseeable future. There's no like real way around that. The one card that I'm interested in, and a lot of people are, oh wow, dude, Evan Mobley took a price hit. That's crazy. I'm shocked he took such a price hit because my man was like super expensive. I sold mine for 200K with no badge with no badge upgrades just a few days ago. That's nuts. And now he's a buyout. I don't know if he's worth it. It just depends what we're getting tomorrow, to be honest. Who is worth it? Jared Allen. I love Jared Allen. He's like 25K. Super worth it. It's probably worth it to pick up Cade, too. If you're a fan of Cade, just pick this one up. He's like 5,000 MT. Now, looking at the Season of Giving Kawhi, there's so many of them, dude. Oh, my God. Yeah, there's a lot of Season of Giving Kawhis up right now, dude. That's crazy. Like, that's nuts, dude. The reason I say that is just like there's been a lot of them up, so it's not like super shocking that there's a lot on the market right now, but it's just crazy how many of them. And realistically, like, this Kawhi Leonard, he can get pretty much all the badges you would want to put on him anyway. Like, he doesn't come standard with Chef, but he can get it. The only thing he can't get is Circus 3s, which on current gen doesn't really do anything anyway. He can get corner, he can get green machine, he can get all the dunking badges. He can get every dribbling badge. He just can't get special delivery or ankle breaker, which I guess is kind of important. But he can get everything. There's really no difference between this one and the NBA 75 Kawhi. And this one is a whole lot cheaper because it doesn't come packaged with the lock-in, right? $26K for a base Kawhi Leonard is a fantastic price. Now, I can't say for certain we're not going to get like a more meta and better shooting guard at that price point in the next couple weeks, because it's entirely possible that we do. But if you're a big Kawhi fan or you're looking to build like a competitive level team but not spend that much MT, Kawhi Leonard's not a bad place to start. Realistically, he's not. Terry Dissinger, there's no way we don't get a Dark Matter Terry Dissinger. And to be completely honest with you, I feel like Dark Matter Terry may be the lock-in for the 1960s. I know I'm saying it right now. Just don't be shocked. Do not be shocked if Terry Dissinger ends up as the lock-in for the 1960s set. And all those cards will quintuple in value due to that fact. Yeah, Steven, you can get Terry Dissinger for 38K. That's a steal. That's an absolute steal. Straight up. Either way, I'm going to be opening packs tomorrow. I'm going to be late as per usual. So I won't be opening packs until like 5 or 6, but I'm going to come through and do it anyway. So maybe I'll come through on my lunch break if weather permits. It just kind of depends how I'm feeling. So we'll see. Paul George might be a buyout at some point too. I don't think he has the worst longevity because you can't apply badges to him. That's why I don't really enjoy that. Anthony Davis is going to stay expensive. Same with Giannis. Big stops will probably bottom out at some point. We're going to see an even bigger market crash tomorrow. Typically, before the season starts, we see a pretty good market crash. How much is LaMelo truly going for right now? Really? I'm rocking Bob Sura and Kyrie. I actually like Kyrie a lot. I'm not gonna front. That Kyrie card, pretty fun to use. He does kind of move horribly on current gen, but it remains to be seen how long I'm going to be using him. I'm interested to see how much LaMelo is, because if this man's as cheap as I think he is, yeah, 37K for a base one. Rather just buy a badged out one. That's crazy. I sold mine for 200K. That's nuts. Always sell your cards before it's too late, I swear. And I'm not even a market guru guy. It's just facts. I might pick up a couple cards tonight. I'm not sure. I might go shopping. Might pick up Yee. He's looking pretty cheap right now, which would be kind of cool. But we're getting a whole new season tomorrow. There's going to be so many new cards to choose from. So I would just hold off. But if you want to make some smart investments, there are guys that you can invest in that I think will give you a return. Any of the NBA 75 guys, if you can get them cheap enough, I highly recommend. If you were to buy some of these guys a couple weeks ago, Bill Russell, for example, was 4K MT 2 weeks ago. Sam Jones was he's still about 5K MT. Mikan was 3K MT, so he's gone up a little bit. Jerry West has been kind of stagnant. Wilt is Wilt. But the 60s and 70s guys are not terrible investments, because a lot of these cards people just don't have, especially when it comes to Nate Thurmond. No, Nate Thurmond's a bad one. Dave Cowens would be a better one. Billy Cunningham. These are cards that A, people didn't hold on to because they're not very good, and B, they were kind of hard to draw from packs, especially Dave Cowens and Jerry West, those two specifically. That it's entirely possible that the lock-ins are fire and people are going to spend way more MT than they should on these cards. So something to think about. Even going into the 80s sets, you'd want to avoid guys like Larry Bird who wear locker codes. The reason for that is just because they're not going to go up in price by very much. But guys who were hard to draw, like James Worthy, Julius Erving, I don't think was in that locker code. No, because I would have chose him if he was in that locker code. So he wasn't. Moses Malone, guys that weren't easy to draw from packs. They will probably go up in value significantly. So it's something to think about. Anyways, it's been your boy Cheap Ludes. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.